There we go.
Right there. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Emily, the nerdy unicorn here, and I am interviewing Colleen Thompson. She is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Scarborough Renaissance Festival. So, how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for about 15 years.
15 years, that's a long time.
Yes.
And you must really love it then.
I do. It
Yeah.
is an amazing place to be a part of, and to have a job where your job is to talk about it all the time is really incredible. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I have just an amazing array of artisans and performers, and I get to show them all, and that's really what makes my job so much fun.
Well, that is awesome. How did the festival get its start?
It started back in 1981. Yes, pretty flowers, aren't they? and it was the Renaissance Festival's world, so to speak, began in Southern California.
Okay.
And some folks here in Texas said, you know what? This would be a great place to have one of these.
Yeah.
And so a couple of families got together and decided they were going to build this thing. And they picked out this beautiful piece of land. And when they first started, it was nothing but pasture and a pecan grove.
Wow.
And over the last 40 years, they have built it up into the village that you see today. We have almost 250 permanent structures on this site that are
Really?
part of the festival.
Okay. So they stay all year round then?
Yeah, what you see here is permanent. This is our village. And the same two families have owned it since its inception. And they have, again, grown it bit by bit. And we started out, this is like, even in the last 10, 12 years or so, it has grown tremendously. We have gone from 11 stages to almost 25 stages.
That's a lot.
And so because, the entertainment realm has grown so tremendously. And it necessitated having, more built. And this year alone, we are debuting 3 brand new shops at the festival.
Oh, cool. What are they?
And one of them is a woodworking shop.
Okay.
Another one does fairy sculptures, but also does bath salts and teas. And then the other one is a fairy structure. She sells fairy wings and makes fairies. So a very unique, different. Each building is completely unique. And one of the things that is interesting about our artisan village here is these are all independent artisans.
Oh.
They own their booths. They design their booths based on what they sell and how it will best display their products. And what we do is we are one of the largest juried craft shows in the country. And what that means is we actually have a panel that goes through and looks at all the different items that this particular artisan might want to sell. And they have to be selected to be a part of our festival based on what we feel will fit into our general artisan theme, but also what we feel like our patrons will like. And we have everything from blown glass to leatherworks to we have a tapestry artist. This year we have debuted a gentleman who does handmade bamboo fly rods. So really runs the gamut, and there's really something for everybody. Even from you've got the kids here. We've got several shops that sell wands. We've got mat makers that do everything from historical mats to fantasy mats. We have, again, fairy wings. We have elf ears. We have wooden swords. Just a whole huge array of crafts that pretty much everyone in the family can find something in.
That is fantastic. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. Yeah, you can come and do nothing but shop all day.
All right, so I'm a nerd.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm the nerdy unicorn.
Yeah.
I love things like this.
Okay.
But what would you say to somebody who they hear about the Renaissance Festival and they're like, oh, that's old-timey stuff, I'm not really interested. How would you talk to somebody like that and gain their interest in a place
Well,
like this?
We are the kind of place where you can completely get away from today's world. And after this extremely difficult year that we've all been through, what better place to completely get away from it? You're not going to see electronics. You're not going to be on Zoom anymore. You're not going to be on any of these things. And that's really what makes when you walk around, you're not going to see kids buried in a cell phone or any game because there's so much to take in. And everything about our festival is interactive. And that goes from our artisans to our performers. And unfortunately, in this, because of the COVID situation, the performers cannot bring people up on the stage. But normally, that's a very big part of what they do. They will, just about every one of our performers will bring an audience member into their show at least once or twice during their show. But having said that, you still have the opportunity at the conclusion of their show to talk to them about it. I mean, like, where else are you going to find someone swallowing a sword?
That is true.
Or juggling, or doing, Renaissance style music, or playing an instrument you may have never seen before, such as a hammered dulcimer. And that's really one of the things that makes our festival so unique, and it does appeal to everyone, whether you're nerdy or you're not nerdy, because of the fact that it is the type of entertainment and the type of craft that you're not going to see anywhere else in this entire North Texas area. And that's really, it's more of a vaudevillian type entertainment. Again, we've got jugglers, we've got a master whip. He actually does the bull whips.
I'm wanting to see that. The fire whip show?
Yes. He has, to date, 30 Guinness Book of World Records.
Really?
Yes, and he is amazing. But we also have comedians. We have a new sideshow act, and she does all kinds of crazy things, including swallowing a sword.
Is that the Cirque du Soleil?
No,
or is that somebody else?
Cirque du Soleil is our rat and cat circus.
Oh, okay.
And believe it or not, she actually does have cats and rats in her show.
Oh, my goodness.
So again, where else are you going to see this kind of stuff? But no, our sideshow, she does. It's called the Pipsy's sideshow, and she does all kinds of crazy, sideshow type things, but with a Renaissance flair, and it's really a lot of fun.
Goodness.
We also have several acrobatic acts. We have, I'm just trying to think of all the different ones we have. We have Scottish bagpipes. We have sword fighters, which I'm sure your guys will love.
Yes.
They're really, really cool.
The Mermaid Lagoon
Yeah,
is the one I
Mermaid
want to take
Lagoon
the
for the
girls.
little ones. Oh, yes. And then, of course, our jousting, which is phenomenal. We have 3 live full combat jousts every day at the festival. We also have birds of prey exhibitions. And the birds of prey exhibitions aren't just a show. They are actually put on by a wildlife conservancy out of South Texas. And all the birds that you see in the show are either in the process of being rehabilitated or have been injured to the degree that they cannot be re-released out into the wild.
Oh, okay. Well,
And so
that's awesome.
this is the real deal. They are a non-profit organization that specializes in rehabilitating birds of prey to be able to have them re-released back into the wild. And
That's
it's an
fantastic.
incredible educational show, but it's fascinating. I mean, as you're sitting in the audience, you'll actually have a hawk or a falcon fly over your head. It's really cool.
That is awesome. I love this.
So again, there's something for everyone, and that's one thing that really makes us unique. It's not the place that, okay, we're going to take the kids and it's a kid place and it's going to, you're going to find things that you and your husband are going to enjoy. The kids are going to find things they're enjoying. No matter what the ages are, they're all going to find something they really like to do here at the festival. And that's a big part of what makes it unique is, again, they can talk to the performer and say, what got you into, sword fighting, or what got you into, doing a bull whip, and things like that. But you can also watch the glass blowing demonstration and find out the history of glass and what it goes into actually making a handcrafted piece of glass, or a stone carver who actually carves out a beautiful design out of a piece of rock.
I'm looking forward to the glass blowing, especially.
Yeah.
I've never gotten to actually see it being done.
He does a phenomenal job. And so again, those are all the different experiences that we offer here at Scarborough, because it really is a whole day of different experiences. And in fact, being here, there's no way you're going to be able to see and do everything in a single day, because we have a 35-acre site.
Oh.
And just to give you some, how big is that? It's bigger than most of the area malls here in North Texas.
So this is quite a day for us then.
Yes, you can just, and the best way to experience Scarborough is truly just to wander, because you never know what performer or what shop or demonstration you might just come upon. It's a lot more fun, and you will really have a tremendous experience if you'll just do that. Because a lot of people get caught up in, I want to see this show, and I want to see, and they miss so much of what's in between there.
Right.
And it really can be a fun experience.
Oh, that is great. What is one thing you would suggest that every visitor should see or do when they come here?
Oh goodness, that's hard. Because there's so many, and a lot of it depends on your taste. some people like the really high action things. Some people like the real subtle, soft music and things like that. So it really depends on what your taste is.
Okay. So for our variety,
Yes.
what is one thing you would say, okay, y'all should probably definitely do this? We have a family, we're all nerds.
I would say probably some of our juggling acts. We've got 2 juggling acts that are tremendously fun.
Okay.
But they are really, one of them is London Broil, which is on our Crown stage just down here from where we are. The other one is over in our Hollyfield area. And both of them are they're very, very engaging, and they will keep everyone's attention.
Awesome.
And so I would probably recommend that. But of course, the joust is always a lot of fun because, you're going to cheer, y'all might cheer for one night and they might cheer for the other night. And so it becomes a family competition at that point.
I love that.
Yes.
I can't wait to see the jousting.
Yes.
The Mermaid Lagoon for sure. She is our little mermaid.
We have some beautiful mermaids, and they love fun. So you will really have a lot of fun. And then we have princesses, and we have fairies, and we have all kinds of fun people.
And I can't wait for the, is it the Nightingale Ceremony?
The Nightingale Ceremony, yes. Yeah, we have horses too. We actually have 2 different knighting ceremonies. One is at 4 o'clock, and that is with King Henry VIII and Queen Catherine of Aragon.
Very
and
nice.
then at 4:30 on the other side of the festival, we have another knighting ceremony with King Henry's sister, Margaret, Queen of Scotland and Ireland. And so that happens every afternoon, and then you can become a lady or knight.
All right. Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And even just real quick, you had mentioned being a nerd and being part of this. One of the things that also that some people you came in just jeans, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of people you will see have costumes on.
Yes.
Not all of these people work for the festival.
A lot of parts, and there was people getting out there fully dressed.
We welcome costumes. They don't have to be Renaissance. But people who get in costume feel like they are even more immersed into our world.
Yes.
And that's really what we want, them to be welcome to. Others like myself are not so much into costumes, but they love the people watching to be able to see what, the creative concepts and characters that the people come in with. There is one very distinct difference is you will notice that when you find one of our performers, they will have a badge on.
Okay.
I'll show you what it looks like. All of the performers who are part of the festival are designated with a badge. And that way, when you look at them, you say, okay, is that a performer? Is that a patron? Is that, do they just kind of come in, or what is the deal? On the front page here.
Not so easy with the gloves of today.
It is not. It is not.
See, I had wanted to wear my wedding dress, which was actually a medieval dress.
Oh, wow.
But I thought, no, not today. I think I'll just use the, even star and the elf ears, and I'll just go with that, and that'll be fine. And then I saw everybody dressed up walking towards us. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I should have done it.
Well, see, now you can come back and wear it another time.
Yes, I'm hoping so.
Yeah, so this is what you'll see. This badge is what we call the emblem of the season.
Okay.
And that way, when you come up, if you look at someone and you say, okay, is this displayed somewhere on their costume? If it is not, they are simply a patron.
Okay.
If it is, this designates them as a Scarborough performer. And they could be one of our stage performers, or they could be part of our performing company. We have a 50-member performing company that creates the village and the characters of our village.
That
awesome. Includes King Henry and Queen Catherine, Queen Margaret, and all their other villagers, and some of the other royalty we have here in the village. And so that's just kind of a way that you can tell a little bit of the difference. But I tell you, a bunch of our patrons, you're going to have a hard time telling they're not a performer because they are so engrossed in really have developed their characters so well that you cannot tell the difference.
Oh, I love that. I go to Comic Cons.
Oh,
I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love getting dressed up. I like seeing all the other costumes. I like getting in to that little world with the rest of everybody else.
And that's kind of what we'd like to be able to open it up here to be able to do. But I put a challenge out to you. Enjoy
Okay.
your day to day in the t-shirts and jeans. Come back in costume and see what kind of a different experience you have.
All right.
Because
I
I
think I'm going to
guarantee
take
you
that
it will
challenge.
be different because you will get approached, people will ask you for pictures. It will be a completely different experience than what you have today.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yes.
I am so looking forward to it. I am so glad we got to bring the family and do this.
Absolutely.
Again, this is Helene Thompson, and I can't wait to show you the rest of the festival, the park, everything that is here. So stay tuned, guys, and I will see you again soon.
Welcome everybody.